So your panel is in a couple of hours. What are you showing for the fans today?
I thought I might show them biceps.
They'll love that.
I don't know. Roger Corman and I are old buddies. Mm-hmm. He and I made a film together many years ago. I don't think many people know about it. At least I think the secret to me, the surprise to me is going to be whether anybody remembers that there was a film that Roger and I did that was a cult favorite for a while. And he brags continuously about the film as the only one he lost money on. So that's my claim to fame there.
But you're still friends.
Yes, I would think of us as friends, although I haven't seen him in quite a while. But he's a movie maker that I've admired and worked very closely with. And it's no exaggeration to say I faced death with him because we were threatened in the movie that we were making many times. And so I've known him and his brother and his family quite a while.
So let's talk a little bit about William Shatner's Get a Life, where you turn the camera sort of on the fans.
Yes.
What did you find out about Star Trek fans after making this?
Well, I'm sort of in a documentary flourish in this last few years. I've made 4 or 5 documentaries now. Some have won some really nice prizes. And last year I made a documentary called The Captains that we debuted here at Comic-Con, and it did very well for Epix Films. And then I had a thought for another one, and Epix gave me the green light on it. So I have made a new documentary called Get a Life, which tries to answer the question that I've asked myself for a long time, many times. Who comes to Comic-Con? Mm-hmm. Who comes to the Star Trek conventions? Why are they coming? Who are they? What's their story? And why in heaven's name do they keep coming back? Well, I used to think, when I started asking the question, I wrote a book about it called Get a Life. I had done a sketch on Saturday Night Live in which I said, get a life. And it was sort of, it caught the interest of the public. Okay. And so the book I entitled Get a Life, in which I talked to many of the people who came to the conventions. There was a kid who was pathologically shy, who had a cat, and he dressed the cat up in Star Trek, and he was able to talk, and he would dance and sing, and he was a totally different personality, with the cat dressed as one of the engineers or something. When the cat wasn't there, he couldn't be found. I talked to a girl who had multiple personalities, each one of them a character from Star Trek.
That's amazing.
It is amazing. I flew to Dallas to interview her. Mm-hmm. So those were the things that I discovered in the book. So what I discovered in the book, and the conclusion I came to in the book, was they came to see each other and to have fun and to renew acquaintances and friendships and things like that every year or twice, 2-3 times a year. When I sought to ask that question again, I found that the answer in the book was inadequate, that there was a far deeper meaning to why people come to Comic-Con. And it is that meaning that forms the ending of my documentary, which is strange, mysterious, and yet illuminating. And it requires you to see it on July 28th at 8 o'clock on Epix to know the answer. Sounds like a. I should have something behind me. Right? See the mysterious stranger will answer your question and tell you your future.
Oh, that would be a nice benefit.
You will have a man and you will have a child.
Yes. Star Trek fans continue to grow and grow. It seems like there's never not going to be Star Trek fans. What do you think helps it just kind of last forever? It's just a...
Well, you see, That's one of the questions.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. See, if your copy of Get a Life had worked, you would have seen it. But that is one of the questions. Why is science fiction so tantalizing, so shimmering and as mysterious for people to read and go see the movies? Why do people go see the movies of strange beings flying around? Why? And the answer will really surprise you.
And since you've been part of this world for a while, how do you think it's changed or stayed the same over the years? I mean, films have changed.
Well, great stories are great stories. The science fiction stories are, somebody once characterized it as the search for God. What's out there, and what there are the numerical values, calculation of the hundreds of billions of stars and planets and possibilities are such that anything you can imagine is probably out there. So that's part of the appeal. You look out into the sky at night and you see something twinkling, maybe a planet that's fairly close by, maybe a star which is beyond our reach, or maybe galaxies far, and if you've got a telescope, it's galaxies way out there that are bigger than this galaxy, which has 100 million stars to begin with. And there are 100 million galaxies, but there's more than that. Who knows what's out there and what's happening? The mysteriousness and mystique of space is such that science fiction attempts to tantalize you by telling you a story that could possibly be out there. And that's the appeal of science fiction. That's what is appealing to people, the possibilities of other lives and other things going on, other adventures. That's why people are entranced by science fiction, and that's what I examine in the documentary.
Are there certain shows or movies in this genre that you've seen lately that you were really impressed with?
They're all so good. With the advent of computer graphic arts, that the imagination that is at work by some of these great artists who during the background. I mean, Avatar is such a great movie. That the theme is wonderful. The execution is gorgeous. The actors were. It was a watershed picture, like some of these others that have come along. That after which they say, well, it's as good as Aliens, or these movies come along every so often that just break all the bonds of movie making, and we start anew. And Avatar is that film, but we'll go on from there.
What do you think the future of 3D is? Do you think everything will be in 3D someday, or it's only fit for certain pictures?
I was in on the 3D boom of long ago, where they were making movies and you wore glasses, and even smell-o-vision, and they had 3Ds and smell-o-vision. I don't know if you know that. I was there, and I knew the people writing the films and doing the films. And then it faded out. And because I think it was, they were doing things, throwing things at the screen, at the camera actually, to tell you this is 3D. And it wasn't part of the story.
Right.
Now they've gotten over the joyful idea of, well, look at this, we've got 3D, and they stopped playing with it. And now they can begin to tell stories that will grab you even more because it comes closer. And when that happens, and without the glasses, I think 3D will be the next big thing.
Great.
Of course, that's not a huge pronouncement, is it? I mean, oh God, was he wise? 3D will be the next big